Hello, welcome back to my channel. Here is Jess, and I'm gonna show you today how to letter serif, a serif font. So we're gonna go through each letter in the alphabet and draw it in a serif style, and I'm gonna show you my process of drawing them so that you can create the serifs on the right place and in the right way. I'm not gonna go into much talk right now in the beginning because that's gonna take us a while to draw 26 letters and explain every one of them. So let's just go to this. I'm using lined paper. I could be using grid paper, but I think the lined paper is better so you can see the guides and I can explain what I'm doing to you with some reference. But you can definitely do that in blank paper or other type of dot paper or grid paper, and you can even play around with the width and height of the letter. So that's just a basic guideline here for you to start drawing those letters. And I'm using a fine liner. This one is a Stabilo 0.88 in black, but you can use basically any fine liner or any pen you want. I just using this for this tutorial because I like the way it writes and it's not really thin. A thin point is a fine liner 0.4. So let's get to it. Okay, for the letter A, the first letter of the alphabet, we start with this basic shape, and I'm using here, you can see two of the lines in this paper with one in the middle, in the center, and I just put weight on this side. I'm gonna have serifs here and here on the bottom and a crossbar here. To the serifs, to every serif we're gonna go through, we just have to round it a little bit around the strokes. They are connecting the serifs to the letter so that it looks natural, and everything else has to be filled in, which I'm not gonna go very carefully because we are going to take a lot of time here. So just keep in mind that you can fill it out perfectly and have a very solid letter. For letter B, we start with the vertical lines and we have two arches, and notice how the first one does not go exactly in the middle. You have this line as a reference. It goes a little bit up, a little bit before the middle, and the other one it's a little bit wider. So keep that in mind when drawing your letters. We have this serif, and we can add weight here. And I could even add a little bit more weight because I think it's not enough for this letter. I rounded the serifs and I can fill the letter to finish it up. So, letter B. For letter C, we start with its basic shape. We have a serif that comes in here and I can already round them and just add weight to the letter. When you're creating a alphabet like this, you also want to make sure that the weight you are adding on each letter is basically consistent. I'm trying to be as consistent as I can, but I'm doing it really fast, so I'm probably not gonna be that consistent throughout every letter, but just make notes that you have to do that to make it look actually like a single alphabet. For letter D, I start drawing the vertical lines for the weighted part of the D. We have a arch around the letter. I can already draw the weight here and grow it a little bit so it's consistent, or as consistent as it can be. Put the serifs. Something else that I want to point out to you is that your serifs should also be consistent, so they should be as close as possible from one another, from every letter, so the same size, basically the same. You can see that the B, I can grow it a little bit more so that it's consistent with those other two. I can put more weight into the B. It's everything a matter of taking time to perfect it, which I'm not doing here, but you should definitely do. Okay, now we have the letter E, and its basic shape is like this. The serifs are gonna come here, 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 and here. A lot of serifs here, so I'm already gonna round them. And see how I did this serif kind of angled? That's just a little something that most serif fonts have, and it gives kind of a personality to the letter E, so you can definitely do that. Again, fill it up perfect and you're gonna see how great it looks. And I messed up the serif here, don't mind the serif, draw that perfectly. Letter F, it's very similar, so we're gonna have this and this and these serifs. So and fill the liner to finish it up. Very similar to the E, so not much to explain here. The letter G, it's gonna be similar to the C, just have to put this little detail that it has and the C doesn't. And the serif on the top. G. Letter H. Letter H actually has the two weighted parts. Each one has a serif on top and on the bottom. Another great trick in drawing letters is to try and replicate in actual font that you have on your computer. So look out on your computer, find a serif font like, I don't know, maybe Times or other serif font. You can type all the letters or keep looking at them when you're drawing to try to replicate their behavior, and you're gonna understand better how the serifs work. The I is also pretty easy. Since we already drew the H, it's just like half an H or less than that even. J, we start with its basic shape, add some weight to it. I like to put a little bow in here. It's kind of serif, but not really a serif. And you fill the letter. The serifs are actually on top. This is just a decorative element, this little ball. We have the K, that we start the same way we started the E and the H. This diagonal line and this diagonal line. This one has a lot of weight on it, but this top one doesn't have much, so we just create the serifs, and we can fill the letter to give it some weight to the right strokes. That's the K. For the L, vertical part, we have serifs here, a serif here, and we extend that for this last serif. The same thing I did on the E, this diagonal serif on the terminal, and we just finish up filling the letter. Now we have the letter M, which is a quite wide letter. It started by drawing out the basic shape of the letter, and in some M's this middle part is not going to the end of the line. Sometimes it stops a little bit before, sometimes go to the middle. It depends on the alphabet you're trying to create. So for this one, I'm gonna go until the end. This first stroke, it's not weighted. The second one actually is this diagonal one, and I have a serif in here, and these go up. I don't have a serif, and this come down. Yeah, so notice how the weight works here. If you are drawing the A, you're gonna go up and down. For the B, you're gonna go down, down, down. In this, you're gonna go down here, down and down. This is gonna go down and then horizontal, 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 down, horizontal, horizontal, down. You see, you can see a standard behavior that your downstrokes are gonna be thick. That's something that we learn from script alphabets that you can apply here to remember which parts have to be thickened out and which don't. I'm just adding a little bit of weight so it's not a really thinner line, and you can keep that consistent throughout every letter. Now let's go to the N, which is not gonna be big secrets. If you finished your M, the N is just like a little bit smaller than the N, so it's supposed to be a little bit easier. And I messed up here, but doesn't matter. I can fix it with some white ink. I'm not a big fan of whiteout because it never matches the paper I'm using for some reason. So I always use a white gel pen to cover up some mistakes. And I'm not afraid of making mistakes when drawing because they happen a lot. If I would be bothered by them, I would be in really big trouble. So a tip for you, you see why I made this mistake here? Because I am used to drawing the weight and then adding the rest of the letter. That's something I use in full calligraphy, and when I bring it to my serif letters, I get in trouble. What you should do is what I told you to do on M. First draw the basic shape of the letter, and then you start adding weight. So now that I did that, I drew the basic shape of the N. I'm gonna put a weight in. So I'm gonna put a little bit of weight in here, and I have to adapt because the N is really okay. This is gonna be filled out, and I'm gonna have the serifs in here. So let's round them to keep them consistent. And there you have your N. Nice, right? Right. The O, you draw a circle. Okay, and something to notice with those rounded letters or round shapes is that they usually go a tiny little bit above and a tiny little bit below the lines that are guiding your writing. So you should always go a little bit up and a little bit down, just a little bit for balance to the eye. And right now we add weight on one side and also on the other side, and you fill it in. And since it's a absolutely completely round letter, we don't have to put any serifs in here because there are no terminals. It's a round letter. There are no terminals to put serifs on. Now let's make a P. Add some weight, position your serifs, and round them. And now you can fill the letter to give it a body and safety. Looks good. For the Q, again, I'm gonna draw something similar to an O. It's exactly what I did on an O. I'm gonna add the weights. Should I add a little bit more? Yes. Now on the other side, and this little tail right here, so that we can fill it to finish this letter. Just a little bit more weight on this side to try and balance. It's not gonna be perfect here, first because I am just with basic guidelines. Second, because it's hand letter, it's not supposed to be perfect. And third, because I'm going really fast in here so that we can go through all the letters quickly. The R, it's basic R, and I add the weight in here a little bit more. Okay, weight. I'm gonna have serifs here, and I have to add weight in here, and a little bit of weight, actually the same amount of weight in here, and maybe something close to a serif, but not really a serif. Round your serifs, always round your serifs, otherwise it's gonna look just like it's loose line or a line that you mistakenly put somewhere. So here we have the R, and I could add a little bit more of weight in here, but notice that it should be this tail, this leg should be a little bit further than what the bow here is. For the S, it's a lot trickier. It's one of the letters that I almost never get right the first time, but let's try. Okay, basic shape, awesome. And first add the weight. I like to add the weight first before the serifs. And when adding the weight, you can kind of correct some imperfections. Your serifs are gonna come here and here. Okay, now round them. More or less perfect. And fill the letter to see the outcome. I'm gonna do this only once for each letter. You can do that a lot more times. You should do that a lot more times so you can perfect each letter and draw them a lot better. But just to show you how it's done, I'm gonna do it only once here. The T, I start with the horizontal stroke, then I do the vertical with the thickness already in there. I know I have serifs in here, and I'm also gonna have serifs on these terminals. So I round them. It's not really a hard letter to do, the T. The S for me is the worst one to be done. Even though I kind of got this one a little bit good looking, it's completely messed up because the S is a messed up letter. And I have two in my name, so that's life. Okay, so I have the T, the U. We start again with the basic shape. Most of these letters, you're gonna have a much easier time if you start with the basic letter. And I wanna add the weight in here. Then do your serifs. Round them. And try to keep them consistent. Don't be picky with yourself. You wanna to be good looking, but not really perfect, or otherwise you're gonna lose its hand lettering style, I'd say. The V, we kind of already done that with the A, just upside down, you know. So let's just repeat what we did with the V. And now the weight is on this side because this is the one that we went down. So keep that in mind. Our serifs rounded just a tiny little bit. The serifs, you shouldn't work on them very much. It's just a tiny little bit rounded, and you get it right. You can see that I messed up on some of them, but keep that in mind. It's just a tiny little thing, just to show as part of the letter. So you round, but not too much. Now let's go for the W, which are two V's, basically. I like to start drawing them with the second V, because like the W are two V's, right? I draw the second one, and then I draw the first one because of this. I like this style with the letter coming up and connecting like this. So this one is coming down, this one is coming down. So there we have our weights, serifs everywhere, and round your serifs. And you can feel the letter to see how it looks. And I think this one ended up looking really nice. I think the W is the widest letter that we have, and sometimes that gives you problems when designing a piece because it's really wide, and then you measure the letters, but then you forget that the W is that wide. It's just a matter of practice and see how wide the letter we got here. Okay, for the X, we have the basic shape, and then we add weight on this side, right here, and we have serifs everywhere. Just put them, round them, and fill your letter. You know what? I actually like this sketch look because I didn't feel everything perfectly. I actually like that. That's nice. See? A pleasant surprise. Okay, for the Y, the basic shape of the Y, okay, and our weight is gonna come on this side. So there we have it. Kind of messed up a little bit, but fine. It looks good, still looks good. Put your serifs on every terminal and round them. After they're rounded, we can fill the whole letter. Okay, and now I have the Z, which I'm gonna put in here. I think it is gonna fit. I start with the middle of the letter, and then I have these horizontal lines and our serifs. Now fill it in. And we have an entire alphabet of serif letters. They actually look very nice, even though I messed up in a lot of them. You see, that's the amazing thing about lettering and drawing letters, is that even if you messed up, since they are lettering pieces, they are supposed to be imperfect and having these little quirky tweaks around them. So, see, they look like part of the same alphabet, which is great because that was the intention. But you can see some things messed up around. However, it doesn't matter. You actually like how they look. I would tweak them a little bit more to make them just a little bit better looking, but I think that's a good result. I hope you like that. Hit the like button, comment below, and try it out for yourself. And if you try it, post on social media and tag me. My social links are below, and I can see your progress. I see you next time. Bye.